Good evening. Welcome. I'm Diane Kresh. I'm the director for Arlington Public Library. Thanks for being here. We have a wonderful program planned for everyone this evening, so let's take a minute to do some housekeeping. Please turn off your devices. I'll turn off mine too. Exits back there, so if there's an emergency, you know to go to the rear of the building. Restrooms are out there as well. Evenings like this can only happen when we have lots of partners, and we are very grateful to have the Friends of Arlington Library who are here to support us. Big, big applause. The Friends sponsor all of our programs, evenings like this, which are author events, but also summer reading and winter reading programs, etc. And when people stop me when I'm out in the wild and they want to know how they can help the library, I always say, join the Friends. Every penny they earn comes back to the library. So when they do their twice annual book sales, for example, and we just finished one a couple of weeks ago where we earned $125,000. That comes back to the library, and the county doesn't pay for any of our programming. So all programming, as I said, author events, summer reading, winter reading, anything special that we're doing for the community to present the library and have opportunities for engagement, that's all paid for by the Friends. We absolutely could not run the library without them. So many thanks to them. If you want to become a member, it's the cheapest membership going. They've got a table set up in the lobby. They've also got some nice merch. And it's really a great group of people who want to help the library, and it's been a terrific partnership. I'd also like to thank One More Page Books. Yay! Arlington's favorite independent bookstore. They actually live in my neighborhood of East Falls Church, so I'm never very far from books. But they've been a terrific partner, and they will be doing the author signing this evening. So again, thank you to One More Page Books. And I'd also like to thank the staff of Arlington County Library. They make these evenings happen. They make it very easy for me to come up and really just introduce the program and enjoy it. So they are tireless in their efforts. They love what they're doing, and I can't ask for a better staff. So 1 year ago, we selected the theme, Share the Love, and could not have imagined then just how much love our community, our nation, and our world would need right now. Throughout the year, we have celebrated love in all of its manifestations and been able to get ourselves outside of ourselves and into the minds and especially the hearts of other people. Many in our community are struggling. Costs of goods and unemployment are rising. Businesses are closing, and the federal shutdown is now the longest in history, more than 30 days and counting. And I'm sure many of you have family and friends or neighbors or people that you know in your community who are affected by this current state of affairs. I was part of a government shutdown back in the Clinton era, which is, sometime in the aughts, right? Hundreds of years ago. It's no fun. My children were young at the time. It was a very worrisome time. So in the days ahead, regardless of how this current situation resolves, please keep in mind the people who, frankly, make our government run and do so tirelessly as public servants. While there's a lot of uncertainty and fears about what might be coming next, one thing you can always be sure of, Arlington Public Library is not going anywhere. Our doors are still open for reference help, quiet study, meeting friends, or making new ones. And if you have friends or family who haven't stepped through our doors in a while, please encourage them to do so. They might be pleasantly surprised at how things are always changing so that we can meet the needs of our very vibrant community. A little bit about the series that we've been managing this year. We kicked off the series in February with Julia Quinn, author of the Bridgerton novels. No applause? Curtis Sittenfeld joined us in April. You can continue to applaud. And in July, we took our vow to share the love to the next level when we hosted a wedding. Yes. An event no public library has ever hosted. More than 300 library patrons gathered at Central Library on that July afternoon to bear witness and celebrate Katie and Vincent's commitment to one another. It was an amazing, amazing day, and again, the staff and the friends of the library and many, many contributors throughout the community helped make that happen. Casey McQuiston was with us in August, and tonight we are welcoming David and Nicola Yoon, who are here to talk about writing and publishing romance. Choosing joy, hope, and kindness is not about being woke. It's choosing to be decent, forgiving, and accepting of those who may not look like us, may come from another country, or love differently. So we ask all of you to join us and choose love. We are all Arlington, and as a community, our strengths lie in our differences. So let's continue to share the love because we're all in this together. David and Nicola Yoon are a husband and wife team who have a lot in common. Both are New York Times bestselling authors. Nicola's works include Instructions for Dancing, Everything, Everything, and the Sun is Also a Star. 2 of her novels have been made into major motion pictures. David's works include Frankly in Love, Super Fake Love Song, Version 0, and City of Orange. Both are award-winning authors. Nicola is a National Book Award finalist, a Michael L. Prince Award recipient, a John Steptoe New Talent Award winner, and the first Black woman to hit #1 on the New York Times Young Adult Bestseller list. And David is a William C. Morris Award finalist and an Asian Pacific American Award finalist for Young Adult Literature Honor Book recipient. And both authors are co-publishers of Joy Revolution, a Random House young adult imprint dedicated to love stories starring people of color. Please give a big Arlington welcome to David and Nicola Yoon. And interviewing the Yoons this evening, I'm delighted to introduce Vanessa Scruggs, making her debut as an interviewer. She's one of our amazing youth services librarians, and she's been with us only a couple of years, but she's already made her mark on our program. So please welcome Vanessa Scruggs.
Can you hear us? Yes.
Can you hear me?
Excellent.
Yeah, all right. There we go.
Let me sit. Tall chairs.
I know.
Well, I'm
Director's
so
chairs.
happy to be here.
We are thrilled to be here.
So nice to be here. It's nice to see everyone.
And thanks for that
Thanks for having
fabulous introduction, Diane.
Diane's very, very good at introductions for sure.
Yeah.
We're so happy to be here, not just because it is our last Arlington Reads for Share the Love. We're so excited that you're here, best for last, but also that we don't just get one author, we get 2 authors, and we get like the embodiment of Share the Love because they're married and they've been married for so long.
We have been married for a long time.
Yeah.
We got married in 2002.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're in Boston, and then he dragged me to California because Boston was too cold. It's like, we must leave.
Yeah, so that's actually my first question. I really wanted to hear about how you met, and if you could share your love story. I know that you maybe met when you're getting your master's.
Yeah.
So if you could talk a little bit about your Share the Love story.
Well, first I want to say thank you for coming out. Thanks for having us here. We love actually getting to do events together because we don't get to do them that often. And we love talking about books and meeting readers because you guys know you're the best people. So thanks for coming out and having us.
If you think about it, it's rare to be in a room with this many people who love books as much
as you love books.
as you love books. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah. So I was telling this, we did a school visit just before this, and I was telling this story to a bunch of kids because David misremembers how we met. Like, he gets it wrong every time.
Actually, she misremembers it.
Okay. So we met in graduate school. We met outside of the classroom,
At Emerson in Boston.
inside the building, and right. So we
Go
were both.
Lions.
Wait,
I
what?
think it's Lions.
No.
Continue.
So anyway, we were outside the classroom and we were both very nervous. We were 26 at the time, and I said to you, "Isn't it weird that we still get nervous for these things?
Yeah.
Like even though we're 26 years old, walking into a graduate classroom." And I thought he was super cute. He had a girlfriend.
She
so
wasn't really a girlfriend.
That was not a
It didn't
non-starter.
really count.
So I thought he was so cute, and then he like pretty much immediately was like, "Oh, I have a girlfriend," because I think he could tell that I was like, "Oh yeah." and then we were friends for a couple of years, and then we finally started dating. Oh,
That was a good time.
okay. So we were driving from Boston to New York for Thanksgiving. Like he was seeing his friends, I was going home, and I
Still
had
just
such a
friends.
big crush on him
Still
that I
just
made him a mixtape.
Yeah.
Yeah, a mixtape.
And she timed it so that when we were entering Brooklyn, Beastie Boys' No Sleep Till Brooklyn came on.
And I got my boy. Yeah.
It was a YA novel. She was like, the whole time she's like, "Do you believe in God?"
I know. I asked him
I
all
was
these
like,
very deep
it's a
questions.
really
while
deep
we're
question.
Anyway, so finally, after 2 years, we started dating, and then we got married.
Yeah.
So that is how we started.
And we've been talking, it's weird, like we realized one day we've been talking about stories, and especially love stories, our entire relationship.
Yeah.
One of the main impetuses for starting our imprint was we'd go to bars and have drinks and talk about poetry and literature, and we'd talk about rom-coms. And we realized, like, not a lot of these, well, none of these rom-coms really featured people who looked like us, which was weird because we know for a fact that we fall in love.
I mean, seriously, in high school, I fell in love every day.
Yeah.
Like every day.
And so we didn't know what to, we were like, do we host short story contests? Like, what do we do? We didn't know what we were doing. And it was only until we both got published and built relationships within Penguin Random House that we were able to start this
Well,
imprint.
we're going to talk about the imprint too.
Yeah, we'll get
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Sorry.
We'll
Very
get there.
excited about
Yeah.
it. Is that how you remember how you met in the love story? Do you agree?
We were orbiting Mars,
No, he just always misremembers where we were and what
We were
actually
outside
was
the
said.
building.
We were not
Just
outside the
details,
building.
not the big pictures.
Yeah, no, I mean, he loved me. I was
it
lovable.
was outside.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question is, how did you each get into writing, and at what age did you realize that you wanted to become writers?
Do you want to start?
I realized when I was in third grade, I wrote a story and I read it out loud to the class and they all laughed. And I was like, oh, I like this feeling. And then I wrote another story and it was terrible because no one laughed or said anything. And I was like, well, I hate this. And I was like, I want to get back to the first one. And it hasn't really changed, you know? I majored in English. My favorite classes in high school were English. I went to Emerson College and met Nikki. And I've always been attracted to books and writing. It's always been my favorite thing. It's also the hardest thing. I've had lots of hobbies, and I play music and program games, and I would do design, but the hardest thing was always writing. And that's, to me, that's how you know it's worth doing, when it's the hardest thing, because it's the most fulfilling.
Yeah. There are a couple stories about why I started writing.
Start with Poltergeist.
Okay, so this is a silly story, and just bear with me. But I grew up in Jamaica, and when I was 8, I saw Poltergeist. Do you guys know this movie? Do you remember this movie?
Remember the tree?
There's a tree in the movie that basically busts through a window and eats a child, right? So I was 8 when I saw this movie, and I was really way too young to see it. I was staying at my grandmother's house in my aunt's room, and there was a tree outside the window, and I was convinced this tree was the same tree, and it was going to bust through the window and eat me. So I got off the bed, and I went under the bed, and I found my aunt's box of Harlequin Blaze romance books.
Remember
You guys-
the postcard in the back? It's like, do you like a hot read?
Yes. So, okay, remember, I'm 8, but I am a prolific reader. And I picked one book up and I read the whole thing. And I still remember it was gorgeous mounds of flesh and heaving bosoms, and I had no idea what it meant. Like, I had no clue, but I could not stop reading. And that is how I became a writer, is because I read all of those books in the box, and then I kept reading Harlequin romances throughout my entire childhood.
Because you like a hot read.
But, I really just fell in love with reading, and every writer will tell you the reason they're a writer is because they like reading. So it was really heaving bosoms, gorgeous mounds of flesh that turned me into a writer.
When you were writing stories, when you were younger, you're saying that you wrote funny things. What kinds of things did you write, Nicola?
I didn't, I wrote very earnest things. Like I love poetry and I read a lot of it, but I'm really bad at writing it. So I wrote a lot of very sort of bad poetry, and just I'm always deadly serious. My books are they become funny, but they start off deadly serious.
So you're emotionally intelligent. How about that?
Yeah, okay.
Because everything, all of her, the reason why I'm her #1 fan, she's my favorite writer, is that the characters must make emotionally intelligent decisions. Otherwise, she can't continue.
Or they must at least make sense. Even if they make the wrong decision, they have to have a good reason for making the wrong decision.
It just needs to make emotional sense.
It just has to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because our job as writers is to tell the truth, right? That is the job.
Yeah.
And so, I can't, if it doesn't feel true, if this character would never say this thing, because that's just not who they are, I get stuck, and I can't write it.
Yes, it's not earnest, it's just honest, right?
Yeah.
The word I think when I read your books is genuine. Your characters and
yeah.
your stories feel very genuine to who they are. Like you're saying, they make choices, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but it comes from who they are as a person, their identity and what they've gone through in their
Right.
life.
Yeah.
So genuine is the word that I
Thank
would,
you.
but
It's a
honest
good
is
word,
another
yeah.
good word too.
I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah. I would like to know if you write every day. You were saying earlier you wrote today. Do you write every day? And if so, what is that writing process like? And are there any kind of writing rituals that you have, or any specific places you must sit down to write at? I heard, or I saw an interview where you talked about that you like to write freehand on a notebook before you actually start typing things, because you feel freedom in that way. So if you want to each talk a little bit about your writing rituals, if you write every day.
We're pretty disciplined about our writing. Even if you sit at your desk and you don't write a single word, that still counts as writing. But we started, as soon as we drop our daughter off at school, the day starts and we write, take a break for lunch, do spelling bee, do Wordle.
And Pips. Have you guys started playing Pips yet?
Pips fans.
I love Pips.
Hell
They
yeah.
need more math games in the New York Times puzzle box. Come on with the math.
She loves Sudoku too.
Yeah.
Freak. And then we write until 3 or 3:45, and that's when our brains kind of stop. We have the same schedule, and it's if you keep writing past exhaustion, your writing will start to suck. So you actually have to do something else, preferably something mindless, like cook dinner or fold laundry. But I write on a computer.
Like a 21st century
Because
person.
it's 2025.
You're so mean. So he's being a jerk because I write by hand.
With a fountain pen.
With a fountain pen.
I'm
The
gonna get
fountain
you an
pen
oil
that you
lamp.
bought me.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you an oil lamp. and a dude playing a lute. Just in the corner. You know?
I've been married to this person for 20-something years. You guys, help me. Anyway, I love writing by hand, and I honestly don't know another way to do it. I have tried, in fact, to write my first drafts onto a computer, but I feel very, I don't know, I edit myself more when I'm writing on a computer, but I really do feel free when it's by hand, because it's just paper and I can just X it out. And all of, like, the weird sort of connections and ideas that occur to me when I'm writing by hand. Like, my head's on the desk and I'm just like sort of letting it come out. And then every few days I'll take what I've written by hand and type it in. And it's like my first edit of the thing that I'm writing.
Yeah, and I am being a jerk because
Yeah.
we're also working on a screenplay, and so there's 3 writers, us 2 and a friend of ours, and we have to collaborate in an organized fashion, and so we're using cards. And the cards are magnetic and they stick on a whiteboard, and we're very physical in moving our bodies around. And it plays on your muscle memory for location, like geolocating things. And so we remember where in the story things are, and it's actually a really physical, nice way to build out a story. And so I've been doing that with my writing, my book writing, in a smaller, more portable format, in a notebook with little tiny Post-it notes to just write out story ideas. And if it doesn't work, you can just kind of crumple them up and throw them away and put new ones, because they cost nothing.
Yeah.
And also taking a lot of walks. Like, we were stuck in a library for all summer, one summer.
A college library.
Yeah, college library in Los Angeles. And I would just walk the stacks. And getting up and moving your body is a way to let ideas happen without forcing them as well.
But I mean, I think that, whatever way it takes, like, writing a book is hard, and whatever way you get there is fine,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Like,
just
if you
your
dictate
way.
to yourself, if you write in your notepad, if you, like, write by hand, or if you use a computer, then it's fine. You just have to get through. You just have to get through that first draft, especially. But, like Dave was saying, this is our job, so we're very disciplined about writing. We write, like, Monday through Friday, like, all day until Penny comes home. I'm on deadline for Monday, so, like, my book is due on Monday morning. So I will probably be awake until Monday because it's the final push,
Whereas
right?
I just turned in my book, so I'm
Yeah,
like,
so he just turned it. So he's insufferable. But yeah, but like, in crunch time, it's more, right? But usually it's Monday through Friday, because if we don't do this job, like, our child doesn't go to college, right?
yeah,
And she needs to go to art school.
yeah.
Yeah.
To art school.
Yes, that's where she wants to go. She draws. She's really good. Yeah. Yeah.
Are there places in your home, or maybe a coffee shop? Where is it that you actually do your writing, either on computer or freehand?
Yeah. I have an office in
Yeah.
our house, so I do it there.
Yeah.
I have a little office too, and
Yeah.
yeah.
We're just, like, in there, and then we wander around like wraiths, like, when we're thinking about our story. And, like, if I'm really stuck, I'll go to David's office and, like, see if he's free, and then we'll talk through plot points, or, like, if I'm saying this doesn't make sense, like, he helps me all the time, and I help you all the time.
Little whiteboard stuff out.
I cry every book. I was saying this to the kids earlier, so there's always some time in the middle. There's no crying in baseball. Well, there's crying
lot
in
of crying in
fiction, let me
writing,
tell you. And there will be some point when I'm writing a book when I'm convinced that it's not working, and I am the worst writer in the world, and that no one will ever buy a book of mine again.
Okay,
and David will always say, "You say this every time," and I'll be like, "I don't care.
But you know,
It's happening now."
you know what really helped me with that
What?
whole, like, imposter syndrome thing was when we were stuck in that library. It was a college library attached to our daughter's art camp. And it was too far to go back and forth, so we just stayed there all day. And this library, for some reason, it had, like, 200-year-old books on the shelf, and, like, entire series of cowboy dramas from 150 years ago that are totally forgotten now. And it was like walking through a memento mori of authors who, like, Joseph Heller was there, but this generation doesn't know who he is, and my generation used to worship that guy. Mm-hmm. And you could say it's depressing, or you can say life is short anyway, so just do what you love and enjoy it. And don't worry about the audience or the accolades or the money or any of that stuff. Just write for the sake of writing.
Yeah.
And it actually took a lot of the pressure off. Like, I stopped feeling so much like an imposter because it's all going to be forgotten anyway, which is a weird way. It's weirdly hopeful.
See, I don't feel like that. That is not how I feel.
I loved it. I was like, here's someone who wrote a 50-book series on, I don't know, people, some like comedy of manners on the Upper East Side from like 100 years ago, and nobody remembers it anymore. And I found that inspiring.
Right. I don't
For
think.
its time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the reason I cry is because I think that people are not going to remember the books. It's
Well, no,
because
yeah.
writing is terrible. Writing is hard, and
because
it's
you
awful.
put pressure on yourself. Like,
Yeah.
you put pressure on yourself. I think writing is fun. I'm gonna make a T-shirt that says "Writing is fun."
And I will
Wear
make
it
one
around
that
the
says
house.
writing sucks. And we'll just hang out.
This is really touching on just like watching your dynamic when we were in the back and here as well, of how you balance each other out. And so I'm curious how you both support each other in your shared endeavors, which is very similar, but also how you give each other space and how that really looks in your household. I think I read that you took on all childcare for a month while David was writing 55,000 words during NaNoWriMo.
Yeah.
And so, like, what kinds of things do you do to support each other so you can accomplish your tasks, and also give each other space to kind of just be in your writing worlds as well?
Yeah. That was amazing.
Yeah.
NaNoWriMo was coming up. I was scared of writing a novel. Frankly enough, it's not my first novel. City of Orange is my first novel, but it came out in fourth. And I didn't think I could write a novel. I was terrified of it. And she was like, "You can do this." She had just finished Everything. And she was like, "I will take care of everything. For November, you just write." And I hit that 50K word mark, and my heart was thumping. It's like a nerd's marathon. And it was an amazing feeling. So without your support, that literally wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. I mean, I think you hear couples, especially who work together, say this all the time, like, nothing happens without the other person. But it's really true, right? Like, none of my books get written without David, I just took a retreat to finish one of the revisions. So I went to a hotel and I stayed there all weekend. I had 14-hour days. And David took care of everything. He just did. And like this weekend, when we fly home, David will take care of everything while I stay up for the next 3 days, right? So it's like practical stuff like that, because we do have a 13-year-old who has drum lessons on Saturday morning and
Piano lessons.
art class on Sunday afternoon, and I can't take her to any of those while I'm on deadline, right? So it's like just helping, it's like plot points, it's like...
Yeah, craft-wise too, we talk a lot about
Right.
like thorny parts of our stories and
I'm trying to come up with a title for my next book right now, and he has heard 5,000 titles, all of which are bad.
But it's like every conversation, like, here's the bad pitch, you know.
Yeah.
We're doing that a lot.
But talking about giving each other space too, I mean, like, I was free to go do my retreat, right? And sometimes he just needs to come into my office and talk to me about the book. I will say nothing. He will solve his problem and walk back out. And he just wanted to talk about it. He just needed to say it.
The ducky effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I think letting each other know it's okay to let your freak flag fly,
Yeah.
right? Which is, I think, is the biggest advice I always give to new authors or aspiring authors, is that, the part of you that is different than everyone else, the strangest part of you, is the thing that people want to read about. Like, that is why they want to read your story. So you have to just, like, let that part of you out.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's hard because, writing is, like, it's very vulnerable, right? You write this book and you give it to the world, and sometimes they hate it and they will tell you. But you still have to keep doing it. And so I think encouraging each other to, like, just be vulnerable again is part of it.
And write like the money doesn't matter, which is such an obnoxious thing to say, but it's actually really true.
Yeah.
And follow your instincts, trust your instincts. But also we talk a lot about the market and what's being published out there, and we just talk about all these things. And there's kind of no stupid questions, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm very interested by people who switch careers, and I've never done it. And I'm curious. I'm really happy as a librarian. I'm really curious what it is that made you change your mind of what career you were doing to switch over to become an author, and kind of what steps you took to make that journey to finally be able to say, I'm 100% an author. This is what I do every day.
I moved her out of her cubicle. I was like, I'll carry your stuff out. She used to work in finance.
So yeah, I went to Cornell, which is in upstate New York, and I was an electrical engineering major, which was just a lot of math. Basically, I was really good at math in high school, I'm not gonna lie. Math led me astray because it took me away from the fact that I wanted to be a writer at one point. And then I started working for Wall Street firms in finance because it's complicated math, and I really loved it. I loved the math, but I didn't like the office politics. And then eventually I did not like the culture. And I went to graduate school. I grew up fairly poor, so I didn't actually think you could be a writer for a living. I just did not think it was going to be stable. I wanted healthcare and a paycheck. And I got paid very well doing finance, and I did it for a really long time. But eventually, I hated it, and I could feel my soul sort of leave my body when I would go into the office. I worked on a trading desk towards the end, and I just basically got yelled at by very, very wealthy guys.
Remember,
as my job.
She walks in the bathroom one day, and one of her coworkers is crying, and then she's like, I'm going to be that woman.
Yeah,
If
it's such a hard environment, finance. It's just elbows out, it's very intense.
Yeah.
And if you make a mistake, it's millions of dollars, and people will tell you about it. So it was a terrible job. And so I was highly motivated. And I kept writing, even though grad school had been a number of years ago, I kept writing. And then we had our little girl, and I really had one of those epiphany moments when I was holding her in my arms and I was looking at her, and I knew I was going to tell her one day, follow your dreams,
Even though we're not.
Right, I know.
Don't do as we do.
Yeah, be passionate, and then I was like, I'm not doing it. And then I got the idea for my first book, and I wrote it from 4 to 6 a.m. over the course of 3 years while I was still doing my job.
But really, we were doing that before the book. We were getting up before our day jobs to write at an insane hour.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times we were like, why are we doing this? And it's because if we didn't write, we'd get really cranky.
Yeah.
And we also knew that writing was the hard thing. And it was the most fulfilling. Work was easy. Our brains were working at 20%. And I had hobbies and stuff, and we did our arts and crafts and whatever, but writing was always the tough thing. And it was the most satisfying, most fulfilling thing. That's how we knew it was the most important thing to pursue. That was our biggest clue. So whatever everyone is interested in life, if you examine what your activities are, the ones that you suffer the most through and get the most reward out of, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the clue to look for. And if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, right? It's really, really true.
So anyway, so the reason we quit, so then I saved all this money. We're like, okay, I want to try to quit this and do this full time. So we put down a couple years of we saved a ton, and then we just took a chance. And we're I think this book is getting a lot of support from the publisher. Hopefully it'll be successful. And then it was May 22nd, 2015 that I quit my job. And I hadn't told anyone at my job that I was writing. And so they're like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to be a writer. And they laughed at me. And they were like, that is not stable. And one guy who used to work for me.
Yeah, they didn't even work together that much. He pulls her aside.
He took me to coffee.
Yeah, and he's like, listen, it's all going down. There's going to be bread lines. And we're going to be up in our tower. We're going to be okay. So you need to unresign.
He told me to go back upstairs.
Get back to work. It was weird.
It was the strangest thing. Anyway, I didn't do that.
Yeah. It was so weird.
He needs your pep talk about living life.
Yeah.
following your dreams.
So
But
then,
it was scary though, and David
Yes.
did come and pack my bag, and we were like, okay, we're gonna try, because like it's hard to write if you're feeling unstable, but it worked out.
it worked out, and then once it worked out for her, I got my book going, and the publisher made it clear that they were going to do a big push for it. And so at that point, we were like, I think it's probably safe for me to quit my day job, which was, I was doing user experience interface design for like tech companies. I loved my job. The people I worked with were really nice and really smart, but I knew that it was easy compared to writing. And so I knew I'd walk away in a heartbeat, and I did.
Yeah. And so that was 2017 when you quit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2015, 2017.
Yeah, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Now you're here.
Yes, now we're here.
I would love to hear a little bit more about your library story. Can you remember what were some of your first library experiences, and just in general, what does the library mean to you today?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Big loaded question for library lovers here.
I love libraries.
We do love here's my library story. After we left Jamaica and I came to America, I still wanted to read Harlequin romances. Okay? I went to the library and I checked them all out, and I never returned them. Yes.
You're going to hell.
It's true.
You're going to writer hell.
I did this all through high school, and then I went away to college, and I came back, and there were all these books, and I packed them all up, and I took them back to the library, and she was so nice. She's like, and I was like, what's the fee? And she's like, no, it's fine. I'm just glad you returned them. That is my dumb library story.
I love my school library, and one day, I don't know what was wrong with me. It was in middle school, and I was like, I need to read something. And she gave me two books. One was The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury, and the other one was a biography of Buckminster Fuller. And I was like, amazing. So the library became my favorite place. And I grew up in Orange County, Southern California. And if you've ever been to Huntington Beach, California, despite its reputation, they have one of the most beautiful libraries I've ever seen. It's this brutalist masterpiece, and I would go there all the time. And one time I discovered a book called The Princess Bride, and I think it was a first edition, like just sitting there. And I started reading, and then before I knew it, I'd finished it. And I was just in the stacks reading, and it was like one of my happiest memories of a library. That space, it's a miraculous thing that space can exist. You can just go whenever you want, and you can be anybody. It's like, I don't know, it's utopian kind of thing.
I mean, it's we're writers, right? Libraries are secret. It's like church to us. Like, that's it. It's like the library. That's where we all figured out that we wanted to read, and wanting to read is the reason we write. Like, I'm more a reader than a writer, honestly. Like, that's the reason I do it.
Yeah.
It's so interesting how we all have such different ways that we come at libraries. Like you're saying, moving from Jamaica and then you just growing up kind of near that area. I didn't go to a library, like a public library, routinely until high school.
Oh, really?
And that really is from like my immigrant experience of like, that's not really a thing that I had when I was growing up. And it's so fascinating just how we all come kind of at different ways and how it changes your life. Like it changed your life.
What is your background?
I'm Venezuelan.
Venezuelan?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So similar to you that
Yeah.
moving here, I did as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's the heart of a community, right? Like, everyone comes through the library. How old were you when you came?
I was 7.
7? Oh,
Yeah.
11.
I was 11.
I was
yeah.
born here.
Yeah.
My dad was a library science graduate student.
Really?
Yeah, so one of his one of his most favorite things to do was like, go find a book. I'd be like, I want the complete works of M.C. Escher. And he would just go off and get it. He loved the idea that you could have a book. He collected old books as well. So our house is full of like 200, 300-year-old books. He loved the idea that you could freeze a moment in time, and come back to it, and that they would outlast any smartphone or any PC or whatever. Like, pretty
And
cool
the
technology.
thing about books too, though, is like I read The Little Prince all the time because it's one of my favorite books, and every time you read that book, it's different, right? Like, so you have this thing that's unchanging, but you're changing, and so you see all this other stuff every time you read it, you know, like it's kind of, I mean, it is miraculous technology, the book.
It is.
Yeah.
I also love
Yeah.
the old, my dad had a collection of Aristotle's writings, and they're all horrible. They're like horribly racist, sexist, and they have no bearing on like anything. It was very much of its time, but I still love that we have it, you know, that snapshot of time is captured, even though it's repulsive.
Cool. I wanted to ask a little bit more about your publishing imprint, which you've started talking about a little bit. It's called Joy Revolution, and it's under Random House. It's given us a lot of new, exciting books. Some of them you can see here, and some of them that I've been really excited to add to our teen book list and to recommend to teens. They're all different kinds of things. They're not just realistic fiction, there's science fiction, so we have short stories as well. So I wanted you to share a little bit more about the process of getting started with Joy Revolution and what that has been like for the past couple of years, and what drew you to publish these stories featuring people of color, main characters of color.
Yeah.
Right, so I was alluding to the fact that we always thought about putting people of color in romantic stories. And more broadly, just in any kind of story you want, just as long as it doesn't involve suffering or the struggle. Not that the struggle is not important, of course it's important, because we seem to keep forgetting the struggle as a society. So books that focus on the struggle are vital. But the flip side to that is also vital, to show people of color just falling in love, making mistakes, getting stupid. I call it the Harold and Kumar standard of writing, where these guys just want to get high and get burgers, right? And that gave me life.
That was my entire college
That was-
experience. It was like
exactly.
Harold and Kumar.
And so
But-
that was the gold standard of what we wanted to publish, and we didn't know how to do it until we started making connections in public.
Right.
Pen and Random House.
like, you know, when Dave talks about Harold and Kumar, I mean, it's really true, right? Like, there's this idea, like, when you're sort of traveling with booksellers or talking to librarians, like, there's like an issue book, right? And then a non-issue book. So, like, an issue book is like maybe the main character is gay, or say you're dealing with a lot of racism, or you're gay in a small town, or someplace where it's just not safe. And the book is about overcoming that and surviving until you get to a good place, right? And I think books like that save lives. Like those issue books, like if you are in a similar situation and you pick up this book and you see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, I think that can save your life, right? I think it can literally make you hold on to this because you can see that something good can be coming.
Yeah.
But I do actually think that there's another kind of life that needs saving, right? And I always say this is like the metaphysical life, right? The thing that says your stories matter, like you can be the hero, like you can be the one to kill the dragon and get the girl and do all the things, right? Like, and you can be the center of that. And so I think non-issue books matter too. And I think that traditionally for people of color, you only see the issue stories, right? You only see the struggle, which is honestly someone else's view of you. It's not how you see yourself.
Yeah.
It's like what others have put upon you. And so we wanted to publish these books that show that you have a life. You are the star of your own story. You are the center. Like you get to be everything.
Yeah, it's almost like people of color can be fun too.
Right?
You know what I mean?
And also, but genuinely, like I don't
Really?
wake up in the morning thinking about the struggle, because then that's seeding my joy
You don't wake
to
up in the
someone
morning
else's ridiculous view of me.
Thinking,
right?
I'm black.
Right.
Like-
Well, I mean, but you know, I don't wake up thinking about it as like a problem,
Yeah.
because it's not,
Yeah,
right?
it just
And
is, yeah.
I wake up thinking about coffee, like, and whether or not you will make it for me.
Just make the coffee.
So like I really do think like both of these stories are, like you have to tell them, right? But there is a dearth of them. Like all my favorite movies when I was younger are rom-coms. And like I say, like I fell in love every day. So like how come there isn't like a When Harry Met Sally or like a Princess Bride, or why aren't these stories like all my girlfriends fell in love every day too, right? And we were falling in love and not seeing a lot of these books or stories. And so we just wanted to make them. And then, so the way it came about is the president of Random House Children's Books was a mentor to me. Like after everything came out, she really took me under her wing. And we would talk about this stuff over the years. Like she would just take me to dinner or whatever, and she was always very, very kind. And I would say, I think we need more of these stories, and I would sort of pitch it to her, and then in the summer of 2020, we pitched her the idea for Joy Revolution, which is we wanted authors of color telling love stories about people of color. Can we start an imprint? Mm-hmm. And she said yes. I mean, it was like one of these things where she's like, well, go ahead and write it up for me. And so we wrote a thing.
She's such a CEO.
Right. She was like, go write something up. So we wrote something up, and we sent it to her, and she didn't write back for 3 weeks. Right? And we sent a very long letter. And then 3 weeks later,
It's a two-line email. Sounds great.
she's like, this is a good idea.
Let's
do
go
it.
ahead.
And I was in my office. I screamed when I saw this letter.
I thought you saw a spider.
Yeah. David came running because, like, I will burn our house down for a spider. Like, I cannot. And he's like, what is wrong? I was like, she said yes.
Yeah.
We have an imprint.
It's crazy. And we hired an editor. The interview was supposed to last 30 minutes. It lasted 2 hours. Like, we mind melded. So us and Bria Reagan, who's amazing. We worked on a lot of contemporary romances, and we've since expanded to kind of like fantasy,
Dystopian fantasies,
kind of pseudo-historical. And just as long as it fulfills the mission of Joy Revolution, which is the name of the imprint.
Yeah. Does it make you feel
does it
joy?
make you feel joy?
Yeah.
And the logo is, I call it the Flintstone House. It's like a little Stonehenge with a heart in the middle. It's like a safe space where you can just open the book and just be guaranteed that you're going to get swept away by a really fun, really great story.
And we took a chance because, I think that we proved that there is a market, that people will read love stories by people of color, written by people of color, and that it's fine. We can do this.
It's a shockingly simple thesis.
It is really simple. You would not believe how many times we've had to explain it.
You're doing it more so even now you have a media company, a TV production company, called Universe, which is an amazing name, Universe.
Okay, I love stupid company names.
Did you come up with this one?
That was me. Yeah.
Okay. So
100% David Yoon. Universe Media.
Like our plumber was called Bobco Plumbing, and his name was Bob, and I was like, "You're the guy right there, man, Bob."
So we do have. It's the same mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we actually sold a script.
Yeah.
So, yay.
So now we just got to write it. So I'm going to.
So now we're writing it.
Deep in writing it
Yeah.
with the three of us, along with our writing partner. Yeah. But we're really inspired by like Shondaland. You know how she just makes these irresistibly entertaining properties that just happen to be diverse, but mostly they're fun. Like you don't have to think about any of the like issues or whatever. You can just hang out with a bunch of fun characters who are people of color and enjoy yourself. That's sort of another standard that we aspire to. Hopefully we get there. Yeah.
Before we leave, which is soon, we talked about possibly doing a really fun game where you would point at yourself if the statement that I say most describes you or your partner. Okay. And we don't want you to look at each other as you are pointing at each other to see if you agree about who the statement most
I get my pointing
is about.
Yeah, I got it. All right.
Or if you disagree.
Are we going to be married after this? Is this going to
Yes.
Okay.
These questions have been vetted, okay? All right, we'll start. Who is more patient? Who's the better cook?
Okay. He's a really good cook, but I'm the better baker. Better baker.
Better baker, for sure. I'm not looking at you. Don't look at me.
Don't look at me. No.
Who said I love you first?
I think it was me. It was me.
Who takes longer to get ready in the morning?
Easy.
Who is grumpier in the morning?
Okay, he's relentlessly cheery in the morning. It's so annoying. Oh my God, shut up, shut up.
She's like, is today Thursday? I'm like, all day.
Okay, 22 years we've been married. Please help me. I keep saying this, help me.
I think I know who you're going to point for. Who's the funny one? Who's the bigger baby when you are sick?
It's me.
Who is the social butterfly?
You are. It's got to be
I-
you. Come on,
Don't look at
honey.
me.
I'm not
Don't look at
looking
me.
you. I'm not looking at you.
Who apologizes first after a fight?
What? No. We're gonna get to
Who
it.
is the messy one?
Oh, you're the messy one.
I'm so messy. I'm so messy.
Who dresses better?
You dress better.
Who would handle it better if you gave up coffee?
If what?
If they gave up coffee?
Who would handle it better if we gave up coffee?
Who is more likely to talk to a stranger?
Okay. Strangers talk to
That's
me.
a tricky one.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone stopped her on the street once, across the street, and said, I stopped using heroin after 30 years.
What?
He's not kidding. This happens to me all the time.
All the
People
time.
tell
Have
me
that
things.
face?
Yeah, I have that. I have
Friendly
that face.
face.
People tell me things like deeply personal things that I don't know.
So
I
I'm
don't
gonna-
know why.
I'm
It's
gonna
really
point this
bizarre.
way, but it's kind of like
Okay.
Yeah.
Last one.
involuntary.
Who's more romantic?
Oh, I don't know.
We're both pretty romantic.
Answer, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you guys.
All right, we're sticking around for a Q&A, and we'll see
We
who
love
goes
questions
first.
about
Yes.
anything.
Oh, there's the mic. I see it in
Yeah.
the blinding lights now.
Yeah, this is our really genuinely our favorite part. So don't be shy. Ask us almost anything. We're very chill. I think you can tell.
Oh, we got one.
You can stand and come right up to
Oh,
the
oh,
mic
oh,
right over here.
There's the mic. Nice.
Hi, how's it going? So I'm also, I'm prospective YA writer. I'm pretty far along in my manuscript. I think one of the most anxiety-ridden kind of things for me in the future is I want to do traditional publishing. I want to get that agent. So I wanted to know if you had any insights on, like, from your journey in getting an agent, and also, like, for somebody querying today, what would you advise them on getting, that querying process?
That's a great question. So, I mean, just a little bit about how we got hooked up with an agent is we went to grad school for writing, and you don't necessarily have to go to grad school because I know it's like it's expensive, but there's like groups you can find online. But as long as you make friends with fellow series writers, because one of them, if not you, will get published, and as soon as that happens, you have a network that you can pull from. And that's what happened to us. Our good classmate and friend was the first one to sort of get published. And then we had an avenue, because she was like, let me introduce you. And that's how we got in with that editor and that agent, and we got introduced to the whole scene. And so it sucks to say, but it really is who you know, but you can kind of grease the wheels a little bit by meeting people who are as passionate about writing as you are.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's important to have a community. As publishers, I will say that when I see a query letter, I just want it to be straight to the point, right? Like, I want you to say, what is this like? What is your intention? And that's it, just like get to the point of the thing. And we have seen a lot of first drafts come through. Don't send your first draft. You just don't, because no one's first draft is good, right? Honestly, send the fifth one, right?
And that's where the community comes in, right?
Right, so like that's why they were saying, you know, community, because like you want to send your work out to these people that you trust and get feedback and revise and revise and revise, and then send that out. For young adult writing, I would say the Society for Children's Book Writers, SCBWI, is a really good resource. Do you know them already?
Yeah.
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 Do you go to the conferences? Yeah. But you don't have to go to the conferences. Like I went to one, we haven't been to one yet, but you can go and get your manuscript critiqued by an editor at one of these conferences. But the writer community is really important. So where do you live? Do you live here? Right. So have you found a group of people?
Still working on it.
Yeah,
Still working, yeah.
that is, it really is, people who are dedicated, really committed, who want to do this for a living.
Yeah.
Is you want to just meet them, get to know them, and get a working relationship with them. You read their stuff, they read yours, you critique, you revise, because it's such a small world, and there's all this information that just gets passed between people. I still call my friends and say, this is what they're saying at publishing. Did you have this experience? Who did you talk to?
Mm-hmm.
It is really a world of getting to know people and then sending your work out. The most important part is the work, though, right?
Yeah.
Because we have we read a lot of manuscripts, and I can tell if it's been revised 5 times or if it's the first draft.
Yeah.
Right, and the ones we published have been revised 5 times, right? You want to put your best foot forward.
And there's certain things that really catch our eye. If it's very high concept and it's irresistible, then that'll catch our eye. If it's not high concept and it's mostly vibes, but the writing is stellar, then that'll catch our eye. If it's been done before to death, maybe not. But if it's been done before to death, but the writing is stellar, that'll catch our eye. So it really depends on what your writing is. But yeah, like Nikki's saying,
But for the business part of publishing, we cannot. The community is important. It's really super. Just find your tribe.
Yeah, look at
Right.
any acknowledgments of any book, and they'll usually thank their beta readers or their friends.
Yeah.
And that's not any official organization. It's just friends and community.
Our community, we were all unpublished, knew nothing about anything,
Yeah.
and then we all got published eventually.
Yeah, out of the original Emerson crew, I think all but one of our little 6-7 person crew have been published.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, it really works.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hi. So I just read the Super Fake Love Song, and I was wondering
Oh, boy.
how much of that was autobiographical?
How much what?
How much of it is autobiographical?
Well, I was a huge D&D nerd when I was in middle school.
I wasn't there.
And I ran track too, and I was bad at it. So that part is autobiographical. But the rest of it is totally made up, because I wanted that book, my goal for that book was to have a laugh on every page. I just wanted it to be really funny and stupid. Because Frankly in Love, I'm really proud of that book, but it's a little bit on the serious side. It's funny too.
It's funny.
Yeah, it is really funny.
But I wanted Super Fake Love Song to be almost slapstick funny. And I got a really great note from Neil Schusterman. He did the Scythe series. He was like, "This is the funniest book I read all year." And I was like, "Oh, Neil."
It's our little girl's favorite book.
Oh, Neil.
She loves Super Fake Love Song. She reads it all the time.
Yeah.
The first time she read it, she was in her room. She came out and quoted David back to David. And she was laughing, "Papa, you're so funny."
And I just melted.
He melted into a puddle on the ground. It was tragic.
I turned into a little Shetland pony. You know what I mean? Like a little mousy mouse.
It was the sweetest thing, I swear to God. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, but I was, I was that insecure and terrified of especially girls in middle school, especially my crushes. And I was like, what if I got the girl's attention? And I was like, that actually would be my biggest nightmare. And so that was the basis for the story.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi. So sometimes at night we listen to BBC America, and there's this show called Desert Island Disc on it. And it's a version of this question I'm going to get to, but they ask famous people, not so famous people, if you're on an island, what are the 8 music things you can listen to for the rest of the time that you're on an island.
Oh, man.
So a variation on the game would be, if you're on an island, which book would you take with you?
We get one book?
One book each. One book each.
Can
I know
you
what
share
your
the book?
is.
Well,
you
you're on,
figure it out.
you're
I
on
know.
separate islands too.
I gotta
so-
tell you,
Yeah,
her book
so-
would be The Little Prince. I'm right.
Yes. Can I guess yours?
You're never gonna guess mine, because I don't even know what it is.
Oh, it's not Never Let Me Go?
Oh, that might be it. Yeah. That's a
I
good
think
one.
it's Never Let Me Go for him. The Little Prince for me.
Kazuo Ishiguro.
Thank you.
Yeah. How do you not choose that?
Yay.
All right. Can you tell us anything about the books that you are finishing up or that you've just finished?
I cannot. My editor will murder me, and I enjoy being alive.
It has, well, both of them have what we believe are the right words in the right order.
But I mean, thank you for asking, but we literally cannot tell you.
We won't live to see tomorrow.
Yeah.
When will they be published?
Mine is spring 27, but I do have a book coming out next year. It's called Breakout with 5 other authors, Angie Thomas and Nick Stone, and yeah.
And mine doesn't have a date yet, so yeah.
We were talking about how we meet at TAB and go to middle schools and talk about books. And this is Kirsten. She is a librarian at Thomas Jefferson Middle School, and she's my TAB person. So I love her. And at our last meeting, which was this week, a girl in 6th grade said she had just read Everything, Everything.
Right.
And she was like, it was the ending. It was just crazy what happens at the end. And it was just adorable and really unprompted. And I was just like, that's exactly the kind of book for that kind of age, where it's taking like realism and things that are, could happen, but also things that are harder to believe could happen.
Yeah.
And when you're that age, those ideas like kind of blow your mind, and it definitely blew her mind, it feels like.
I mean, we still are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're only 35.
I think you had a question? Yeah. There's a mic there. Yeah.
Hello, so I'm a author, but I haven't been actually published yet, but I have a really big issue with perfectionism. So do you have any tips how to deal with that?
Yes.
Wait, so what form does your perfectionism take?
I have to go back and edit every single chapter after I'm done. So
Because one of the interesting things about, we would wake up at 4 in the morning to get our writing done before our day jobs, right? Interesting thing about that is you're so half asleep that your inner editor is still asleep. And you just write down the craziest nonsense, and in the light of day, when you are awake, some of it is like, wow, that's pretty good. But the key is to just don't touch it. Don't touch it until you're done.
Well, I mean, Laini Taylor, do you know who she is? She wrote The Daughter of Smoke and Bone, and it's a great fantasy novel, like really brilliant. She actually edits as she goes. So because most writers will say that first draft should be messy. Don't worry about it, don't fix it. Fix it after, like revise it, that's how I write, right? The first draft is always just dreadful. But I'm really good at revising, and I'm also really tenacious. So I will stay and revise and revise and revise until it's good. But Laini Taylor can't move on unless each chapter is good. And it takes her a lot. I mean, I think it's very painful. It takes her a long time to write. Whatever gets you to the end of the book is the thing you should do. So if this is stopping you from actually finishing, then you just have to stop doing it. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everyone has their different process, but the goal is to get to the end. Because David says this all the time, most people don't finish things. Literally, we have careers because we finish things and we revise it, right? It's really practical and basic, but most people don't do those things. So Like, if it's stopping you from finishing your work, then it's stopping you from finishing your work, and you just have to knock it off, right?
You might need to mix it up a little bit. Like outlining is, I've discovered the joy of outlining and the joy of roughing out the entire thing. And then once I pitch it to her, I pitch it to my other fellow writers, and they're like, that seems cool, or no, that makes no sense, or that's stupid. And then you go back and you work on the outline, which is a mess anyway. And then once that's nailed down, it's much easier to go, it'll make writing much easier. And do you work on short stories as well?
I did when I was in high school, but not so much anymore.
Because sometimes, like, just the feeling of finishing something is very good. So if you work on like a 6-page short story and you just, really make that as good as you think it can get, and you walk away and call it done, and maybe even ship it, like, not ship it like relationship, but like publish it somewhere, that once you finish something, it makes it easier to finish the next thing, because you get used to finishing things.
But I mean, give yourself permission that it doesn't have to be perfect on that first draft too, right? So, the first draft of everything really is, like, I'm not just being like sort of silly, like I really mean this earnestly. It's not good. It is not good at all, right? But I can revise, right? But you can't revise a blank page. You can't revise something that's not done. So you just got to get it done, right? That doesn't have to be perfect. And mine are never perfect, in fact. But you revise till you get there. So maybe it'll be easier if you know that you get another shot at it. It doesn't have to be perfect that first time, because you have multiple shots at it.
And also,
Oh, yes.
even after it's published, I'll look through my book and be like, well, I would change that.
It's the worst.
Oh, no.
It's the worst when you have to do your reading,
Yeah.
because I will read it and I'm like, oh, that sentence is terrible. Why would I publish that?
But weirdly, that should be liberating.
Yeah.
That should be liberating.
Yeah. Just get to the end.
Yeah.
Get to the end.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think we have time for one more question, if anybody has one. In the back.
The Sun is also a Star. That was the book that got made into a movie, correct?
Yes, it was.
Yes. And
I was just going to ask, can you speak more to that experience, what that was like for you?
It was, so my first book is Everything, and that got made into a movie as well. And then The Sun is Also a Star got made, and it's crazy. They filmed in New York. We got to go on set. We got to take our little girl with us. We got to do a cameo, like where we were in the movie for like a half a second. And Yara Shahidi plays Natasha, and Charles Melton plays Daniel. And it's surreal. Like, the first time I was on a set on the Everything set, and I saw the actors say the words I had written, I burst into tears. Like, just bawled my eyes out, because, it's kind of, it's like, oh, you can make art, and it can be in the world and employ people, and
It can give hundreds of people jobs.
I mean, these
It's
sets are
crazy.
big, and like so many people work on it, but it's also just really nice to have more art in the world of these people that you love, these characters that you love. It's a different thing though, right? Like, it's like the books and the movies are totally different. The first time I read the Everything script, I hated it so much. The script was so bad. But then, the writer wrote more.
We were really lucky. They took our feedback really to
They
heart,
did,
and
yeah.
they made something much, much better.
Yeah. But once you realize that, like, it's a different medium and it's not going to be the same as the book, and then you sort of let that go, then it's this really beautiful thing, because like now there's like another version of Natasha and Daniel in the world, and I love those characters so much. And I love that movie. Obviously, I love my book more, but I love that there's that version of them too.
People on set were like, "It's such an honor to tell your story," and it's like, I'm like, "It's not. It's all.
It's
fake."
fiction. This does not happen.
But also, what was really cool, I gotta say, is she came out. It's 4 a.m, and she's like, "Hey, I want to make the characters look like us. Is that crazy?" And I was like, "Well, everyone else gets to do it, so go for it." And so she made the characters look like us. That gets published into a book, hits the list, awesome. Gets picked up, made into a movie. Suddenly, there's billboards in LA with beautiful, way too beautiful people of color, like Scary, attractive.
I mean, Yara Shahidi is so
It's
gorgeous.
just hard to be around, you know? You're just like, you don't know where to look.
No, it's true. Okay, but can I tell you a funny
Wait,
story?
hold on.
Oh, wait.
So we see the billboards, and that's what it translates to, is people of color looking beautiful and like hot, 20 feet tall in the city, and then our little daughter pointing at it and goes, she looked like me.
Yeah,
And,
she
you know,
really, she literally said that.
That's the process, and the visual image is so undeniable. Like, John Cho was the one who told me this, when he was like, you can't argue with a 20-foot tall screen.
Yeah.
You just can't. It's the visual, the optics are so important.
Okay, but can we tell the Charles Melton story? So Charles Melton plays Daniel in the
And it doesn't help that he sounds like a young Marlon Brando.
He's so hot. You think he's hot
New
too.
York City in the summer. Okay, really, really hot.
And we're on set, and Charles, he's so nice. He's such a good actor, and he's just so nice to everyone. But it's hot, and he's wearing this shirt, this T-shirt, and it has like a little rip in it. And
It's
then,
like a peasant linen shirt kind of thing.
and then suddenly there's a ripping sound. Charles has ripped his entire shirt off. Just took his shirt off. Everyone turned, and we're all like, "What is
Jesus.
happening, Charles?" He's so hot. It was like hard. It was.
Yeah. He's
that what actors
shirtless
do?
and he's leaning. He talks, a close talker.
He's such a close talker.
He's like, I want to do film. You know, film. That's where it's at.
It was like
I
such
want
a
to be
surreal.
somebody.
It was such a surreal moment.
Crazy.
It's amazing. Anyway, sorry, that's my whole story.
All right, well, I think
that
that is a
note.
good way to end it. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here with us today with Arlington
having us.
Thank
Public
you.
Library.
You were so great. You were so
Oh, thank you. So,
seriously, like your questions were so thoughtful and so fun.
you.
So thank you for it.
thank you.
And thank you guys for coming.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you
you for
guys.
coming. Stick around. We are going to do a book signing, and are we going to do it right over here? Yep, right down over here, so you can line up.